We had a number of habitual traditions in Calibishie back in the day, throughout my boyhood days and into my young adulthood. And one of those traditions would have been JOURNEN. Now you may ask, what is JOURNEN now? What is Alex talking about now? Well, I'll tell you if you do not know. And for those people who knew and forgot, you should remember that JOURNEN was a sort of cooperation among farmers where people will come together, let's say 25 farmers or so, and go on a particular farm. Mr. Aubrey, Mr. Edmond, Afed, Mr. Neebs, Hiram, one of the farms, Alphonse, and the people would take care of all the work the farmer needs on that particular day. So if it's sepe, which is doing the grass clean, or if you weeding, like you slashing grass, if you digging fig holes or planting holes or dashing, whatever it is that the farmer need on that day, the entire farm is taken care of on that day. Generally, it happened on a Saturday. Although there were exceptions to the rule for Mr. Hiram Judge and so Mafijeni and them, because they were Adventists, Mr. Aldi, they were Adventists, so they would get their JOURNEN sometimes on a Friday, or maybe even on a Thursday, depends, but they would not get the same kind of a emphasis that would have taken place on a Saturday. Now, I used to be part of the JOURNEN. I was not a man, but as the younger children, we did the light work, the carrying of the grass, the throwing of the stuff, the sharing of the, well, not sharing, the distributing of the food to the farmers, to the bigger men. So when it's lunchtime, Mr. Hiram, my grandfather, and all of them, Edo and them, they sit down. And our job now is to get the food from Mafijeni and them and my grandmother and so on, and to take the food to the men. Sometimes in calabash, sometimes in plate, sometimes in plastic plate. It depends. And then we would take the food back from them, bring the water for them, the liquor juice for them. And after that, they lie down on their back for 5-10 minutes and they start again. So that was the job of the boys. The women's job, well, children, the women's job was to cook the food. We had to carry water too from the source, from the river. Everything that had to be done, the children did it. And of course, we assisted with the different things, tying up the men's feet. They used to say, they never used to run us away, but they used to say, you know, go far higher up and do that and so forth and so forth. So on a JOURNEN, which is the day that the work is being done, it is excitement galore, big twash, dashing, planting, fig, I mean real big dombwe petui, with quem cocoa, sometimes crayfish, which catch from the river, or seaweed, or sometimes codfish or chicken. I mean, these were some huge moments. And we start on the JOURNEN from about maybe 8, little live breakfast, you know, warm chest, and men working until about 1, lunch, have lunch until about 2 o'clock, and then work until about maybe 3-4 o'clock, and the entire farm is taken care of. And that is how most of the farm, if not all, in Calibishie were maintained. Through JOURNEN, every weekend there is some work taking place on some person's farm, and by so doing, the farmer doesn't have to pay for labor and all the expense that they have to really produce their stuff and to plant their stuff. So farmers help farmers. Nowadays I see we have how many workers on a particular farm. That didn't happen before. The workers on the farm were the men, the people who control their farm during the week, and the weekend JOURNEN took care of everything else. So you save the cost of labor, you maximize in terms of I guess cultivation, and then when it's time to reap the harvest, you have a JOURNEN too, you know. The same thing used to happen sometimes to cut and to select bananas. Everybody start on one particular field and selecting, boxing, this and that, and by the end of the day, everybody's field would have been handled by people just moving to different fields and cutting and boxing and so on, and then a lorry passing and pick up all the boxes. So if they pick up 80 boxes from that farm, 50 from that, 100 from that, everything add up together and you know how many boxes you have on the truck. That's how it was done back in the day. JOURNEN style. I don't think we have that anymore in Calibishie. I'm sure we don't have it anymore in Calibishie. But could we do that again? Of course. That would solve a lot of the problems that we're having in terms of labor, the cost of labor. $50, $60 for a day for one person now. When you have 25 people on your farm, just taking care of your entire farm for you for a whole month. All you have to do is maintain in between the week and stuff like that. So I just thought I would share that on Calibishie Chronicle. JOURNEN. That was a thing to behold. Oh boy, how I miss those days.